Danger is just to rip them apart. If you rip them apart and find that you take all the cladding off the sides, get down to the woodwork, find it's rotten, it can collapse on you.
From the outside, this may seem like an ordinary shed, but there is something special going on inside. The magic of the past is being brought back to life. In this micro-series, we are going to have a peep at the restoration of the 3299 Churchward Dreadnought. Meet Mick.
Here we go. See, this is why you said it. You said it.
He is one of the engineers working on the restoration.
The Dreadnought project is to restore the Dreadnought coach back to its almost original condition, as close as we can to it, and then to get it working at the museum here so people can ride on it. The reason the carriage is called a Dreadnought is because they were built at the same time that all the navies in the world were building bigger battleships. At the time we had a battleship called HMS Dreadnought, and because this coach was the longest coach that was built in the country at the time, it got the nickname of Dreadnought.
Despite being the biggest carriage of its time, it was in fact widely unpopular with the travelling public.
During the Victorian period, they got used to having coaches where you accessed the compartments directly from the platform. When they introduced the Dreadnoughts, they'd done away with that completely, and what they had then was doors at the end and doors in the centre. So this is the Dreadnought. You'll see straight away, big door on the end, and there are no side doors until you get to the centre. You access the compartments from the corridor, and people didn't like that because it just slowed everything down. They were not popular at all, and that's why they didn't build that many of them. You know, it's not just a box on wheels, it's a living thing.
Yeah, it is a big question. Where do you start? As always, you're trying to preserve history.
We will now take a look at the extensive work involved with restoring the wooden frame of the carriage. Meet Mark Werrell.
I think one of the floods just went out the one straight above my head.
He is the carriage and wagon manager and our resident expert on all things wood.
As you can see behind me, the skeletal frame of this coach, this quarter of it particularly, is the worst quarter. You've got to make it safe. People are going to travel in it.
The first step is to assess the existing framework.
As you can see in the frame here, when we're looking at it, trying to figure out what to keep, what to get rid of, it's things like how many screw holes, where the old rusty steel screws are and they've rusted, and they'll delaminate and start splitting the timber and rotting the timber out. And also, this section of the framework actually has an interesting point where it's obviously been involved in an accident at some point in its life and it's been rebuilt. But when it was rebuilt for the exterior tin rather than the original 3/8 mahogany. So we've got this situation where all the bits of timber are different heights because some bits are original bits they've reused and some bits are new bits that they've made. So yeah, it's a bit of a hen's nest of framework, this section. It's going to make us scratch our head for a bit.
Another challenge the Society faces is the current suitability of the original materials.
The timber we use, the Great Western like to use oak and teak for their timbers predominantly. Now teak is not possible to get hold of anymore. So we use sapele, which is a mahogany derivative. Why is it important to preserve history? So modern generations can learn from it. Something probably quite key in the world these days, learning from our past, how we go forward. If you have a mechanical mind or not, there's something for everybody. There's something that anyone can have a go at, be taught how to do. I've always liked it it's playing with the biggest Meccano set you can get hold of.
If you look at the end of this headstock now, you can see that the buffer shanks are actually going downhill. So that is the evidence to us that it's had a collision.
And now we step inside the carriage to have a look at the work involved in restoring the Dreadnaught's interior.
We have large picture windows now, much bigger windows than we had in 1941. And I said earlier about the corridor splitting sides. The corridor is coming down this side of the coach here. It crosses over and it goes down the other side of the coach here, because as you can see from here, this is where the compartment walls are.
There is no manual or step-by-step guide for the team to use. Instead, they must proceed cautiously and reveal the carriage's secrets as they go.
We're very fortunate in that some of the structure of the interior was still intact, things like these bulkhead walls. What we've done here is to strip all the old paint and what we call the scumble, which is wood graining off, and that's given us the pattern for the original decoration, because we have no photographs at all or any evidence or drawings of the interior of this coach. So to get to the compartments, you have to come out of the corridor. There's a sliding door to go in here, and then you'll enter into the compartment like that.
The team employ many techniques to ensure the carriage looks the part.
Scumbling is an effect of wood graining. It's trying to imitate the grain back in the wood to highlight it. So if you want to see a very short example is in here. So what will happen here is this is where we will have to reconstruct. So we're going to have to reconstruct the seat backs. We know from the pattern of existing coaches that the seat back will finish roughly there. There'll be a bit of trim across here, and the luggage racks will fit in here. That's where all your clues come from when you're taking these things apart. You can find out where the original bits go. In this one we have the prototype seat back that we've been making up, and what we call a view frame. It's where the pictures and the mirrors go. The other thing you'll notice is because we've got a corridor, we've got a gangway end, which means you can now go into the next vehicle, which you can't do on the Victorian coaches.
I think the railway centre is quite fortunate because of where it is at Didcot, and it is a museum rather than a railway. It doesn't have the same pressures that other preserved railways have to run a service on a railway. So we're fortunate that we can focus more of our time and energy and money on restoring the collection that we have.